For this lesson, you will need a piece of paper, coloring pencils or coloring pens, a ruler or something else you can use to draw straight lines, a pencil, and a rubber in case you make a mistake. This is the title of our story, Eliot, Midnight Superhero. But today we are going to be drawing the story map of our own version of the story. So the first thing we need to do is come up with our own title. Eliot, Midnight Superhero. I want to change the character's name. My character that I want to change is going to be named Malala. So I'm going to draw a line on my piece of paper where I'm going to write my title, and I'm going to write Malala because that's the name of the character I've chosen. Malala. I also want to change when my character is a superhero. In the real story that we've learnt, Eliot is a superhero at midnight. I want to change it so Malala is a superhero at a different time of day. I want you to pause the video and have a think of when your character might be a superhero. Maybe your character can be a superhero in the morning or in the afternoon. When else might your character be a superhero? Perhaps at dinner time. Is going maybe at lunchtime. My character Malala is going to be a superhero at lunchtime. So my title is going to be Malala, Lunchtime Superhero. Lunchtime superhero. Oh, I'm gonna run out of space. I'm gonna squash in the word superhero. So right now you're gonna pause the video and I want you to write the title of your story. The next line in the story is, by day, Eliot is quiet. We want to change this line to make it our own story. We are going to change this bit, the by day bit, and the name of the character and their personality. So in the real story, it's by day, Eliot is quiet. For your story, you might want to change the bit that says by day. So you might want to do at night he's quiet, because that means maybe in the daytime he's a superhero. At night, comma, you can say by night. So we're going to use the same kind of words from the normal story, from the real story. By night, in the morning, so you're going to choose one of these, or you can come up with your own. So have a think of what you want to change the by day bit from, and then I'm going to show you how to do it on your paper. So you might want to pause the video and have a think what you want to change the by day bit from. So the next step is to draw a line, because that is where you're going to draw the pictures for this sentence. So I'm going to choose in the morning, because my character Malala is a lunchtime superhero. So in the morning is when she's not a superhero. And we're going to draw pictures. So I'm going to draw a picture for in the morning. So I'm going to draw a picture of a sunrise. And I'll do all my coloring in later. So in the morning, that is my picture for in the morning. The next words in the sentence is, in the morning, Eliot is quiet. I have to change Eliot to Malala. So I'm just going to draw a very simple picture of a girl. There's my picture from Malala. Is quiet. I want to change the word quiet to be something different. Your character might be shy. Maybe your character is a little bit nervous. Maybe your character is a little bit timid. Timid means something very similar to shy. Gets a little bit scared and nervous sometimes. So you can also, if you want, you can use the word quiet. There's nothing wrong with using the same words from the story. So we've got shy, nervous, timid, or quiet. In the morning, Malala is, I'm going to choose the word shy. In the morning, Malala is shy. I'm going to draw a picture to show that Malala is shy. So I'm going to draw her with worried eyes. She's looking down. In the morning, Malala is shy. I need a full stop at the end. Okay, it's your turn now. I want you to pause the video and I want you to draw the pictures for your sentence. You're changing the sentence. By day, Eliot is quiet. The next line in the story is, he reads his book, feeds his goldfish, and watches Mr. Smith wash his car. In this sentence, Eliot does 3 things. I want to change it so that our character, our new character, also does 3 things. So he reads his book, feeds his goldfish, and watches Mr. Smith wash his car. What 3 things will your character do when they are not acting a superhero? Pause the video and have a think. So I've come up with some ideas. I've got, so my character Malala paints pictures, maybe plays with Lego. What else might someone do? Maybe they can play, so plays with his or her kitten, or guinea pig, or hamster, or puppy. It could be any different type of animal. Maybe the character listens to music. Maybe the character helps mommy and daddy at home. These are some ideas of what your character might do when they are not being a superhero. So I want you to come up with 3 ideas. You can use these ones, any one of these, or you can borrow some ideas from the Eliot story. So pause the video and have a think. The next step is to draw another line, because that is where we're going to draw the pictures for our version of this sentence. So I'm going to choose Malala plays with Lego. She paints pictures and she listens to music. So I'm going to draw pictures for these 3 things. Now it is your turn to draw the 3 pictures of the 3 things that your character does when they are not a superhero. The next line in the story is, Eliot is such a quiet little thing, say the grown-ups. I want to change the word quiet to fit our story. So in my story, I said that Malala was shy. So I'm going to change this word, quiet, to shy, and that is it. And then I'm also going to change Eliot to Malala. My sentence is going to be, Malala is such a shy little thing, say the grown-ups. So I'm going to draw a line, and that is where I'm going to draw the pictures for this sentence. So I'm going to draw the picture of Malala. Malala is such a shy little thing. Draw a picture of Malala looking shy. She's looking down. Say, I'm going to draw a speech bubble for say. The grown-ups. I'm going to draw an up arrow to show that these people are tall. And full stop at the end. So my sentence is, Malala is such a shy little thing, say the grown-ups. Now it is your turn to draw the pictures for your sentence. Remember, you're changing this one. Eliot is such a quiet little thing, say the grown-ups. Okay, so pause the video, draw the pictures for this sentence. The next sentence is, but they don't know that when the clock strikes midnight, Eliot is a superhero. We are going to change this bit, when the clock strikes midnight, and Eliot. So when does your character become a superhero? So my character becomes a superhero at lunchtime. If your character is a superhero at nighttime, you can say, when it becomes dark. When it becomes dark. When the sun sets, because that also means that it's nighttime. When the sun sets. When the stars come out, that's another way of saying it's nighttime. But what if your superhero is a superhero in the daytime? So maybe when the sun rises, when the clock strikes 8 o'clock, when the clock strikes 8 in the morning, when it is lunchtime. This is the one I'm going to use because it makes sense for my story. So I'm going to use this one. I want you right now to think about which one you are going to choose to replace when the clock strikes midnight. You don't have to use these ones, you can come up with one on your own. Okay, so pause the video and have a think. When you've done that, play the video again. What we have to do now is draw a line for the next sentence of pictures. So I'm going to draw my pictures for this sentence. But they don't know that when it is lunchtime, so I'm going to draw a clock pointing to lunch, and I'm going to draw some lunchtime food. There's an apple and a sandwich. And I'll color it in to make it look more like a sandwich later. But they don't know that when it is lunchtime, Malala is a superhero. I'm going to draw a cape. You can draw the same picture from Miss Long's story map, which is a picture of superhero underpants. I'm going to draw a cape and an exclamation mark. But they don't know that when it is lunchtime, Malala is a superhero. So right now it is your turn to draw the pictures for your sentence. The next line in the story is, one night, Eliot receives an urgent message from the world's most important scientists. The first thing I want to change is one night. One night. Because in my story, Malala's not a superhero at nighttime. She's a superhero in the daytime. So I have to think about when she's going to receive the urgent message from someone really important. Perhaps it could be one morning. Maybe it's one afternoon. One evening. And if your superhero is a superhero at nighttime, you can use one night. So I'm going to choose one morning. That's my idea. One morning. One morning, Eliot receives an urgent message from the world's most important scientist. I'm going to keep the word urgent because I think that's a really good word to use in our story. I'm going to change message to text message because in my story, Malala receives the message on her phone. So I'm going to change that, but I'm going to remember that I just want to draw a picture on my piece of paper. Now, who does your character receive the message from? You could keep this bit, the world's most important scientist. I'm going to change it, to the Prime Minister. So you can choose how you want to change that bit. So have a think about who your character receives a message from. The next step is to draw a line for your next sentence. And now draw the pictures. So I'm changing one night. So I'm going to change mine to one afternoon because that's when lunchtime is. It's in the afternoon. So I'm going to draw a picture for afternoon. When the sun is out in the afternoon, the sun is really high in the sky. So this is my picture for afternoon. One afternoon, comma, Malala receives an urgent text message. So I'm going to draw a picture, very simple picture of a phone with some messages and an exclamation mark. This is going to be a big red exclamation mark when I color it in to show that it's urgent. It's extremely important. One afternoon, Malala receives an urgent text message from the Prime Minister. I'm going to try and draw a picture of a man wearing a suit. Pictures don't need to be fancy. Okay, he's in a suit and then there's his tie and his hair. Full stop at the end. One afternoon, Malala receives an urgent text message from the Prime Minister. It is now your turn to draw the pictures for your sentence about your superhero character. The next line in the story is a giant meteor is hurtling towards Earth. This is where your story can get really exciting because you get to choose what is coming to destroy Earth. It's in the real story, the class story, it's a giant meteor. I want you to have a think now, what can possibly be coming really, really quickly towards Earth that might destroy the planet? Pause the video and have a think. So I thought about my character Malala, and because she's a lunchtime superhero, her superpower is to save the world from giant food things that will come to destroy the planet. In my story, I've decided that instead of a giant meteor coming to destroy Earth, a huge wedge of cheese is going to come to destroy London, and Malala has to save the city from this giant wedge of cheese. So my idea is a giant wedge of cheese, but it could be your idea, it could be anything that you want. So I'm going to draw a line because that's going to be for the next sentence. And I'm going to draw a wedge of cheese. There's holes in the cheese. A giant wedge of cheese is hurtling. I want to keep the word hurtling. That's a really good word to use. And for hurtling, I'm going to draw a giant arrow. A giant wedge of cheese is hurtling towards London. So I'm going to draw the gherkin just to represent London. And then the London eye. Exclamation mark for the end. So this is my sentence. A giant wedge of cheese is hurtling towards London. I want you to pause the video and draw the pictures for your sentence. What thing is coming to destroy the planet in your story? The next step is to practice reading your story map over and over and over again until you know it really well. So I'm going to read the one that I've just done with you in the video. Malala, lunchtime superhero. In the morning, Malala is shy. She plays with her Lego, paints pictures, and listens to music. Malala is a shy little thing, say the grown-ups. But they don't know that when it is lunchtime, Malala is a superhero. One afternoon, Malala receives an urgent text message from the Prime Minister. A giant wedge of cheese is hurtling towards London. So that is the class example that we just came up with. What I want you to do now is to practice reading your version over and over and over again until you know it really, really well.